Jeremy,
Can you see me?
I can.
This meeting is being recorded.
How you doing, man?
All good, man. How's it going? Hope everything's well with your mother, man.
Man, Jeremy, thank you, man. Listen, she's still day to day, but we're praying for her, man. And thank you for asking. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Really.
man. I was taken back, you know. I mean, that's definitely not a situation that I have any experience in, but I know it must be tough.
Hmm.
So I hope
Very,
hope
very
she's well
sympathetic.
and send prayers, man.
Thank you, man. You know, my family, man, I think, gosh, everybody's had cancer. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm waiting for it, but uncles, aunts, mom, yeah, it's like whole family, man.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you've never experienced that in your family.
No, no, my aunt had some sort of cancer, but
Okay.
you know, it wasn't like at the point where, you know, stage
Wow.
4 or what you said. I mean, that's just
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah. They
that's what
gave they
must be
gave
different.
her yeah, they gave her 2 years to live, probably back in Octoberish. And I guess with the chemo and stuff like that, she stopped eating. And now
Mm.
she's just kind of, yeah, wasting away, man. So my dad's like, you got to put her in the hospital. So it was a rough day for everybody. Yeah, rough day, man. But I do appreciate you letting Alicia step in for me yesterday. Where are you located?
So, well, right now I'm in Mexico
Oh,
until tomorrow, but
okay.
naturally I'm in Miami actually.
Oh, you live in Miami.
Yeah, yeah, I live in
I didn't know
Miami.
that. Oh, get out of here. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Technically I do, but my partner and I, Angie, we've been nomadic, so we've just been traveling the world and kind of trying to
Uh,
see where we want to put down new roots. We thought that would be Europe, but we
okay.
realized that we love the States too much, and we'd rather be in the States, but we'd rather get out of Miami because prices are crazy, and we want to
Oh,
do
crazy.
something. We
Yeah.
want to kind of find a place where the investment is what Miami was maybe 10 years ago.
Okay.
And we feel like North Carolina might be that place based
I
on
was
the
getting ready to say
prices.
right here.
Yeah.
It's right here. There's no doubt about it. It's funny you say that. So my business partner actually lives in Miami. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so I own a few branches of what's called Lifestyle International Realty. We're based out of Miami. We've been down there for about 10 years. Met George Canciobello through another friend of mine, Michael Valdez. They're both down in Miami. So, I partnered with those guys, brought Lifestyle here. But they were up here last week. And one of the partners, Marco out of West Palm, he said, man, like just it was his first time. He said, driving around Charlotte, he said, man, you need to buy as much property as you can. He said, because this feels like Miami. And you just said 10 years. He said 10 years ago, this feels like Miami. I was like,
Wow.
man, really? Yeah, that's exactly what Marco said. And Marco is
Yeah.
a heavy investor down there, man. He does a ton of fix and flips. So I took
Wow.
to heart when he said it. Yeah, if he's saying that, then that means something to me. So you're right. What made you think about Charlotte like that?
Well, to be honest, I mean, my partner and I we were looking in Spain, we were looking in
Hmm.
Greece, we're looking in different areas. We realized those areas would be more or less vacation investments in the future. But
Okay.
in terms of a base and a home where we could, in the next 1 to 2 years, start a family,
Hmm.
we want something that has seasons. And Miami doesn't have that. We want the winter, the spring. We don't
Hmm.
want it to be so cold like, you know, upper in the US, but at
Right.
least in the middle ground between
Yeah.
the two, it
Right.
gives us both and it gives us more nature. We still can have an international airport with, you know, right there.
Oh
So
yeah.
that was a big selling point. We still haven't yet to visit Charlotte,
Oh
but we're
really?
definitely planning to go soon so that way we can
Man.
see if it even fits what we like,
Okay.
which I
Okay.
imagine it should be great. I have friends that have been, they said it's a vibrant city, up and coming, and that's what we're looking for.
Very, very much so. Charlotte, if you get a chance, look up the 2040 agenda for Charlotte. Okay. They're very progressive and forward thinking here. And I'll be honest, man, so I'm 53 in June. And they're pushing people like me out of Charlotte. Okay. Like this city is really more so. I would say, I mean, if you're between 25 and 40 or 25 and 45, some in that range, this is the city for you. They're building it for you. It's really modern looking. Lots of new, all the new construction, man, is really modern looking. You know, lots of stuff to do. The area where I've got my office right here, we're in what's called Plaza Midwood here in Charlotte. We're literally like right on the outside of Uptown Charlotte, and
Got
they've
it.
designated this an area. I forgot what they call it now, but it's an area now where you can actually walk around with open containers. Okay, like in the Bible Belt, you have nothing like that. Okay, like nothing. So
Yeah.
they're turning Charlotte man into that kind of city. The sports teams, like it's a great place. I'm glad I don't feel old. Okay, because that would be really sad. But
Yeah.
Charlotte, I grew up here, literally not too far from here either, man. So it's a great city, man. You picked the right place to start exploring, without a doubt. Now
Yeah.
you're coming here in May, right? Well, it is May, but you're coming here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're coming in a couple of weeks. So just to give you a quick backstory, my
Mm-hmm.
partner and I, we looked into Charlotte a bit. We've kind of narrowed it down to Griffith Lakes. We see
Mm-hmm.
what it has. It feels like it's speaking to us more or less because we want something new. We don't
Mm-hmm.
want a previously owned house. And
Mm-hmm.
also, we used to be good friends with Bob Toll when he was still alive. So we do know
Oh,
the
wow.
quality of
Okay.
Toll Brothers.
Okay.
And we have friends that have Toll Brother developments here in Miami, in Florida,
Okay. Okay.
let's say like Del Rey, boat like that area.
Sure.
And we've seen it, and it looks great. And so something in the area that's close to the airport, that's of that
Mm-hmm.
quality, that's a new build, that's
Mm-hmm.
in a good price range where we still have some flexibility to pick and choose kind of what we want to some degree. I
Mm-hmm.
think it really is spot on. And just so you're aware, like going into this, we arrive on May 20th. We're there for 5 nights, but we
Okay.
kind of just been interviewing different realtors to see
Sure.
who aligns best with us and our
Okay.
vision.
Mm-hmm.
So just to see who really understands this game, and also
Yeah.
more importantly, who's going to want to walk us through step by step and not just
Mm-hmm.
try and rush us into, just something. And what
Right.
was important also was, I came across your content because my mom, she's a realtor. So
Oh.
she sent me your link from YouTube.
Oh, she did? Okay.
Um,
That's awesome.
yeah. So she sent me something about Griffith Lakes, and then I saw that, you were touring the villa and stuff or
Mm-hmm.
property, and
Mm-hmm.
so I got to see that you're already there on the ground, which
Mm-hmm.
is key for us to know at least what your experience has been like. But
Sure.
also something that's important is knowing that my mom is a realtor. Is
Mm-hmm.
there, the ability to at least get her some kickback or
Oh,
referral,
yeah,
something,
referral fee for
so she
sure.
gets some love. Otherwise, she's gonna kill me if I
Oh,
if I go in
no,
there.
I don't want you dead.
So
No,
yeah, so
we'll
what's your
definitely take care of
experience
mine.
with Griffith Lakes, and
Mm-hmm.
and what can you give us? I mean, have you sold any properties there? What has that been like for you?
Yeah, definitely, man. So I've actually sold three properties there so far. Three, actually closed three. On the townhome side, I've got one of the single family homes closing, I believe May the 15th-ish or so. We're going to meet there this Sunday. We're going to sneak in on Sunday, actually.
Okay.
When I say sneak, okay, we're not really sneaking. I've got a great relationship with Josh, the guy that runs the community, and he's going to give me his master key on Saturday night, after everybody leaves, so I can go back into the home with my buyer. And we're going to go in and do what we call blue tape the home, like for blemishes. Like she's a first time home buyer, and I've tried to explain to her that this is what homes look like when they're being built, right? You're going to see
Mm,
nicks on the cabin, you're going to see nicks over here, you're going to see things that look out of place. But she's really deathly afraid because she's like, dude, we close in 2 weeks. This house is nowhere near being ready. But like you said, Toll Brothers has an amazing, let's just say reviews, okay? Like they're incredible. And I've sold three there. So I know that by the time they turn your home over, by the time we go back for your orientation, your home's going to be spotless. But,
mm,
but since I know that it's keeping you up at night, I'm going to get the key from Josh, and you and I are going to go in there on Sunday morning. So I'm going to go in there with her and her husband Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and we're going to start blue tipping that home. We're not supposed to do that, but I want to make her feel comfortable about her house and that somebody is looking, that we've got her back. So we're going to go blue tape the house for her. on Sunday morning. Probably take us about 2 hours or so. But what it also does for me too, though, it's gonna make her walkthrough, her orientation more efficient because
Mhm.
they've already done some of the work from our taping, so the home should look even better. I want to make sure that she's happy when she goes to close. So yeah, I've sold.
Got
So this
it.
will be my fourth home in Griffith Lakes.
Wow.
Yes.
And
So
how
lots of
has that been, going in as a first time buyer? What was that process with her like? Because we're also first time buyers and we have a
okay.
lot of questions. We
Mhm.
definitely don't want to rush because for us, there's some things that we want to take care of before we actually put the deals on the table. That way we can have
Mhm.
everything squared away and we can get the best loan, the best this, the best that. So just on timeline wise, like
Mhm.
I've spoken to some realtors already, and they're like in a rush to get me to a loan officer and get me pre-qualified and get me this and get me that. But
No.
I don't even know if I want to live there yet. So why am I
Right.
gonna go run my credit and do all of that if I don't
Mhm.
even know if I like it? And so
Right.
realistically, if I go in May and we do like it, then
Mhm.
we would be ready more or less to get it by, let's say, September,
Mhm.
October, once
Mhm.
we do our other steps first,
Right.
because we don't want to hit those loan officers until we have all of
Mhm.
our stuff squared away in terms of our debt, where we want our credit score to be. Because
Mhm.
some of them say it doesn't matter, but if I come in there with 750 or higher, there's going to be
Mhm.
a lot more benefits. Am I correct? Or
It is. You get better rates for sure. So let's talk about because you asked me like three questions right there. I talked about some of the things. I,
sorry.
I caught them all. That's okay. I caught them all. I caught them all. So we'll talk about what her process was like in the first time home buyer stuff first, last. You're right with the loan piece. Okay. If you were coming here to buy an existing home, I would agree with them that you should get pre-approved. But because you're going to go with a builder, so I'll tell you a little bit about my business, okay? My business is probably, I would say, good 90% new construction. It is, if you look at
Wow.
my YouTube channel, like this is predominantly what you're going to see is new construction. I sell a ton. So I got relationships with the builders all over the Charlotte metro because I'm always there. I started out my real estate career shooting content, okay, back in 2017 when nobody else was doing it. And I figured the easiest way for me to do it without getting permission was to do it with new construction. That got me really known with the builders because people started coming in and saying, hey, we have an agent already, but we saw this guy Shawn's videos on YouTube. We want to go. So now the builders call me and say, hey, we got a new community getting ready to open up. Can you come and record it? Right. So I'm getting kind of the inside scoop about these neighborhoods before any other agent in our city. So a little bit about
Very
me.
cool.
I operate in the top 1% in the state. I sell roughly 70 to 80 homes a year. I
Wow.
actually own my brokerage too. So I've got about 110 agents as well. So I hate to say I'm at the top of the food chart because I don't like that, but I mean it is what it is. I was the
It's what
first.
it is.
I was the first.
You gotta talk your ish, man. That's good.
Yeah. So yeah. So we run a really good operation. And in that those homes that I sell at top 1%. Guess what? The majority of them were first time home buyers. Okay. I am not one that necessarily likes listings or selling houses. I do it, right? But I like first time home buyers because at the very beginning of my career, that's all I work with. And for me, man, I get, money's great, but I get great joy in seeing a home buyer that didn't think they could buy a home close on their property. Okay. That that was euphoric for me. All right, to be able to witness that. And then to see like how people with kids, how the kids would go come out of this apartment, go into this home and they're running around, they're so happy. That brought me joy. Okay. So my business is predominantly new construction and predominantly first time home buyers like yourself. And then get this, also predominantly relocation people. Okay.
Wow.
On top of that, yep, relocation people because of the YouTube channel. So people will go on to YouTube, they'll look at all the agents on YouTube, and for a while, there weren't many of us. So they'd look at all the agents on YouTube, figure out the one that they liked the best, and then we'd end up on a Zoom call like this. And then they'd pick the one they wanted to work with. So I've probably moved to Charlotte since COVID. I've probably helped 150 people move to Charlotte that were
Wow.
relocating from, whether it's from north, the south, east, west, wherever. That's been predominantly my business. So when you talk about like helping you guys transition, like I think I'm kind of an expert, um, and with first time home buyers and new construction, as well too. So what you can expect buying a new construction home. Let's just talk about Toll Brothers for a moment, okay? Um, I would rather you wait on running your credit, okay? Simply because we don't know what the builder is going to offer you, okay? So the process that I like to take is that we go out and we find the right home for you, okay? The right community, the one that you love, and then you run your credit two times. You run your credit first with the builder, okay? Let their preferred company run because they're going to offer you incentives. Okay. So for example, if we're talking about Meritage Homes right now is offering 6% in closing costs, okay, to potential buyers. Okay. Now your closing costs aren't going to be 6%. They're going to probably more so around 3%, right?
Mm.
Well, guess what? Now you've got this additional 3%. You could buy down your rate. You could pay a year's worth of HOA, whatever you want to do, but they only give you that if you use their preferred lender. Now,
Mm.
sometimes there are outside lenders that will compete with that builder just to get your business, right? Because they want to earn my business. Okay, they want to get my agent's business, right? So sometimes I could take you to an outside lender and say, hey, listen, I've got Jeremy here, him and his partner. They've already been pre-approved with Toll Brothers, okay? And then here is the loan estimate that they gave them. Can you beat it? Right?
Mm.
And sometimes, listen, it's rare that they can beat what they're giving you, but sometimes they will come back and say, hey, you know what? We found how they're able to give you this rate. We found how they're going to give you this money. If you look here, here, and here, right, at this breakdown, you can see this is where they're getting their money back from you over the course of the
Mm.
first 5 years or so, right? So sometimes there's stuff hidden in the numbers that you don't see that are a little bit more expensive, right? Maybe the interest rate's a 1/4% higher than what it should be, right? So not enough for you to say, oh my God, that's way worse than the other guy, right? But guess what? It's a 1/4% higher, but Jeremy, we're going to give you 30,000 bucks, right? Well, that 30,000 bucks, if you keep the home for 10 years, might cost you 50,000 bucks, right? Right? So
Mm.
these are the things that we look at when we're talking about, new construction and working with builders and their lenders, right? You run your credit with them at the same time, though. You pull your credit today with Toll Brothers, you pull your credit with an outside lender the same day. That way, you only get one credit check. Okay.
Okay.
That, yep, that's the way it's all. You can actually run your credit, Jeremy, as many times as you want in a 15-day period for mortgages, and you only get hit one time. That allows you to be able to shop around and really find the best loan for you. So no, don't run your credit right now. Let's find the right builder. And once you find them, then we start hitting that credit at that point. Okay. Now,
Got
now,
it.
now the process will work like this, right? You find the community that you love. We go in and say, hey, we want to put an offer in. Toll Brothers, in particular, they require a 5% deposit. Okay, so they've got a really hefty deposit. The only way that you get that money back is if your loan is denied. Okay, if you decide that you just want to pull out of the deal, you don't want to buy the home, you hate Charlotte now, right? I'm just going to walk away. Well, guess what? You just gave them 30,000 bucks. Okay,
Mm.
so you have to be 100% sure when we go into contract that this is what you want to do. All right.
Got it.
Now, Toll Brothers also, there are a few builders that are going to allow you to go to showroom and have a showroom appointment. So that's something that's important to you. Then it's going to limit us as far as who it is that we're going to go shop with. Okay. Toll Brothers has showroom appointments still. Uh, Taylor Morrison will let you go to showroom still. True Homes will let you go to showroom still. I believe Stanley Marshall. There's a few of them that still have showroom, but predominantly COVID showed the builders that they did not have to let you go to showroom because during COVID,
Mm.
as you may be aware, that the supply lines were all messed up. Builders couldn't get stuff in. So to keep up, what they started doing, Jeremy, is just building what we call inventory homes. They pick out everything for you. Okay. And then you come in and you say, hey, I want to buy a home. I want that plan. Okay, great. This is what's in it. Take it or leave it. Okay.
Mhm.
you, this is what you're going to get. For somebody that's in a rush to buy a home, they take that deal. Give me 1 second, Jeremy. Rick, you leaving? Okay. Hey, good to see you, man. All right. Listen, have a good day today. Okay, buddy. I'll see you later. Okay, man. Um, Yes, so that's typically how it works, right? So some people like the inventory home. Some people just cannot go in and look at that showroom and all the lights and all the cabinets and all the flooring and sit there for 4 hours and pick out item by item for the home. And you and your partner may be those people that like, hey, I want to do that and get the full first time home buyer build my home experience, right?
Yeah,
Some people
more or
love
less, that's us.
that's you? Okay.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go. There you go.
yeah.
Other people, like my wife couldn't do that. My wife would be like, you're out of your mind. We're gonna buy an inventory home. Let's just find the one that's got this color cabinet, right? And that's it. So, okay, perfect. So now I know what vein to put you guys in. You want to go to showroom, pick out your stuff. It's super fun, okay, to see it
Yeah.
all together. Super fun.
At least to some capacity, right? Like we want to
Right.
make sure we get the right colors of this. If we
Mm-hmm.
want a nice, a larger closet, because I see they offer like a extra walk-in if you want. You takes
Right.
away from your garage or something like that.
That's
You
right.
can have the. So we definitely would be wanting to do that. We
Okay.
also were wondering because we saw units that do have the basement option,
Mm-hmm.
and more, and in particular, we did see like one of the non-negotiables for us is
Mm-hmm.
being able to have a forest in the background
Okay,
behind
yep,
the
okay.
house.
Yep, the tree line. Yep, okay.
The tree
Uh-huh.
line, yeah.
Yep,
So
okay.
I see that there's cottage collection, I see that there's preserve collection, but
Hmm.
does one of those collections limit me from getting the tree line? Can I be in a cottage but still have the tree line, or do I have to upgrade to the preserve
Mhm.
or waterstone or etc.?
You do. Yeah, you're definitely going to have to upgrade. Initially, some of the cottages did have the tree line, but those were the very first ones they sold. Those are
Okay.
pretty much done. But you know what though? Uh, can you hold 1 second?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second here. I like to answer questions accurately, and if I can get them answered real quick, I'll do it. Okay.
Yeah, because that, I mean, that's something that we would love to have. And like,
Okay.
what does that affect the price? If we say, okay, we're gonna have this type of house, but with a
Mm-hmm.
tree line, does that drastically change it? We definitely would be going for a two-story property.
Mm-hmm.
Basement is kind of up in the air if they
Hi,
have
this is Joe.
units.
Mm-hmm. I was calling Josh the neighborhood. So let me tell you this. So speaking about changing the price dramatically, right? So let's talk about the basement homes, for example. Basement homes initially in that neighborhood, Toll Brothers in every community typically has what they call a lot premium. Okay. A lot premium is it's built into your loan, but it's a separate cost from the house. And typically the homes that have the best lots, like the tree line, basement lots, things like that, they're going to have a lot premium. Lot premiums can go anywhere from 30,000. Okay, well, no, I've seen them as low as 5,000. I've seen Toll Brothers in particular out in the Steel Creek area, what's called the Palisades, have lot premiums that were $180,000. Okay. And this is just to get the preferred lots in that neighborhood. So when you talk about Griffith Lakes and that tree line behind those homes, oh, he's calling me right now. Hold on 1 second. Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, man?
What are you doing, bro?
Picking up some groceries. What about you?
What do you mean? You off?
Yeah, they give me a day off once in a while.
No, you don't deserve a day off, Josh.
I know.
Okay. Hey, listen, man, real quick. I've got you on speakerphone. I'm on a Zoom call with Jeremy. He's in Mexico right now, but he lives in Miami. And his mother, who's a real estate agent, sent him a video of Griffith Lakes. So we're talking about Griffith Lakes right now, and in particular, basement homes and tree lines. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know that you had a zero lot premium on that one basement home. Do you have many more basement homes left?
Well, I don't have any more with zero. That was a unicorn, but
Okay.
we have. I'll have to check with my sales partner. We had two unstarted basement lots where you could pick your plan and everything, which were both of them were looking like a pending sale, but I don't know if the one was going to fall out or not. So we
Okay.
might have one there.
Okay.
And then we do have two They're the Tahoma plan, which is the same plan that your other clients built over there,
Mm-hmm.
which is our favorite, which is why we picked it for the spec homes.
Mm-hmm.
Those ones haven't broken ground yet, but
Okay.
you know, everything is already selected and we can't change it. So you have to just kind of.
Does that make sense, Jeremy? What he said?
Yeah. Now, what about in regards to just the tree line without the basement?
Well, so I would say just one last point on that, like the two, we call them quick move-ins, right? The spec homes. So those ones, one of them is on one of the best lots. Like it backs up to the trees and it's a little bigger, it's a little bit of a pie shape.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, like we won't have any more basement lots for the rest of the whole build. When we get into phase two, here in a couple months, we'll have some homes that are over towards the lake, probably around the 800K price point.
Okay.
And those ones will back up to woods.
Okay.
There's like a tree buffer that runs around the lake. So you'll have woods and then a lake, which the density of the tree buffer, you may not be able to see the lake when it's like the growing season, but then in the winter when they drop leaves, then you'll get a nice shot of the lake there.
Nice shot of it. Okay.
Got it.
Can you hear him pretty good, Jeremy?
I hear him well, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And then just units without the basement, let's say, with the tree line.
Unfortunately, no. Those were all the first to go.
Man, so no more tree. So wait a minute. I want to make sure we're clear. Okay, he's asking, even without a basement, will he have an opportunity to get a home with the tree line? Sounds like you said yes in the second phase by the water, but the price point's going to be significantly higher than what they are right now. Is that right? I want to make sure I make that clear.
Yeah, that's correct. And then part of phase two will have a few lots where it's like it's not backing up to the trees as tight, but you will still have some tree line views.
Okay. So at right now at this point, if Jeremy absolutely positively has to have a home in your neighborhood with a tree line, we're going to be in phase two, and we're going to be somewhere around 800,000.
Most likely, yeah, yep. Now there are like some home sites in the row where my models are at, where you've got the parkway behind there, and you've got trees on the other side of that. Those could get developed in the future. There's no active plans in the works now, but I can't say that those will, that those are going to necessarily always be there.
Right.
And I guess it depends on what the expectations are when you say tree line.
Yeah, I think just from our short conversation, I don't think that side of the community will work for him. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And
yeah,
even just units now that have the tree line, they're all taken in terms of like, even if they have been developed already.
No, as a matter of fact, he was just saying that he's got one. No, so this is where you would have to make a decision, Jared. Okay, and Josh, I'm not going to keep you long. I know I just called you off guard. So he's got one inventory home or spec home that's the Tahoma floor plan that will have a basement. It's one of the better lots in the community, and it does actually back up to the woods. That home is going to be ready when, Josh, you think?
Hopefully by October.
October. Okay.
Now, this unit is also two-story.
It's going to be a single story.
3 stories, sorry.
No,
single story.
Yeah, it's gonna be a single story with the basement. And now that said, like we're at around 775 for that lot, for that home. Okay. So, if 800 is still, if that's not that much further, right. That might be something to consider as well. Okay. But I don't know yet what exactly price point's going to look like. That's super rough. I don't know if what part of 800 or if we're going to be, possibly coming in a little under 8. I just don't know yet. They haven't given us pricing yet.
I was getting ready to scream if you said higher. Okay, because I want to live back there too, and I do not want to put $1 million.
Yeah, I don't know. Man. Those bosses have dollar signs in their eyes, so we'll see what they do over there.
Oh my God, I'm going to come work for you guys.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for that feedback.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Josh. I think I got it, man. Okay, I appreciate you, buddy. Okay.
Thank you so much.
I'll see you Saturday. You too, man.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So to get what you want, right? Your optimal situation, right? Go to the showroom, pick out everything you want, 2-story home, wooded lot. you're gonna have to wait to phase two to get that. Which you may be okay with that, right? You guys are
Yeah.
traveling the world and hanging out, right? So if we do it that way, okay, they probably, I think he said they're going to release in October, maybe somewhere around there for the second phase. I'll make sure that you get the lot that you want. So you definitely want to go over there and look and see like where that second phase is going to be, what the best lots are going to be, things like that. So that way we know, okay, Jeremy like lots number, 50, 51, 52, or whatever it may be. So that way when Josh calls me and says the day before, says, hey, we're releasing those lots tomorrow. Does Jeremy still want one? Right? We know which one you want at that point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And to be fair, that's totally realistic for us because
Okay.
we're traveling through the end of the year. So we wouldn't be moving in anytime soon. We
Right.
don't mind if it's being prepared and ready for us next year around this time. Like
Right.
there is no
Okay.
timeline or rush because our job allows us to travel and we have a lot of campaigns and projects coming up.
Okay.
So we wouldn't be there anyway this
Okay.
year,
Awesome.
essentially. So it's kind of like that's why I said we can put a deposit if it was the right spot, but at the
Right.
same time we don't need to rush into it
Right.
if we can't get that lot. Now here's the other question.
hmm
Will those lots on phase two with the tree line be
hmm
still in our price point? I mean, we don't want to go too far off because we also don't know what
hmm
from a lending perspective, we don't know where we should be. I mean, we have an idea of where we want to be, but
hmm
now he's saying 800 is that phase going to be even more, or is it going to be in that same price point? I mean, from 600 to 800 is quite a
Huge.
lot.
It's quite a lot. So yeah. So unfortunately, okay, he can only guess right now. Unfortunately. So
Yeah.
his best guesstimate right now with the lot premium in the home that they're going to be around 800,000, right? But also we have to consider that you're going to go to showroom, okay? And when you go to showroom, they may give you a credit for showroom. Let's say they give you $15,000 credit to go to showroom. Well, you and your partner may have really exquisite taste, okay? And you go to showroom and you pick out the absolute best stuff at the showroom. You just added another $50,000 to your house, right? So
Yeah.
now the $800,000 home that you wanted to contract on, you went to showroom and picked at all that stuff. Now you got a 850 home, right? So you can also drive up the cost of that home very quickly. I've seen
Yeah.
people do it a lot of times. So I go to showroom with my clients. A lot of agents don't even do that. I go to showroom because I want to do two things. I want to make sure that you don't pick out crazy stuff for your home, that when you call me back in 3 years and say, hey, I want to sell this house, and you put in red tile. Okay. Right? Nobody's going to come buy your house, Jeremy. Okay. So I
Of
want to make
course.
sure that I help kind of guide you through that process and make sure you're picking things that, yeah, that you like, right? That you're going to be happy with, but also things that aren't too far out there where like when you go to resell it, we're just going to be twiddling our thumbs and you're going to be looking at me like, hey man, why did you tell me to pick out this stuff? You should have told me, 3 years ago we did this, right? And I'm sitting there looking like an idiot. Man, I should have told you, you're right. So I go for
Yeah.
that reason, right? But yeah, just to make sure that guys don't overspend either, because the other part you don't want to do at showroom is really outpace the neighborhood and your home doesn't praise, right? The builder will penalize you for that too, Jeremy.
Mhm.
Okay, let's say you go in and you spend $50,000, right? Well, the home that you're buying is really only worth 810. You add another 50,000 to it. The appraiser comes in and says, hey, well, all the other homes like this one, they are appraised for 810. Your home, you're under contract for 850. Well, guess what happens? At that point, Jeremy now has to bring the money out of pocket to cover that difference. Or you walk away and you just lose all your money. Okay. So
Got it.
I'm kind of there as like your guardrails to make sure that you don't go too far to the left, too far to the right and get in trouble. Yes.
Because when we say design studio,
hmm
the house you're buying, you're still getting a set of options for your cabinets, for your tiles, for your showers. It's
Right.
not like the design is just extra stuff you might want. Are you still able to
Perfect.
say, hey, I want white cabinets, I want this countertop,
Yep.
even with the basic home you're buying?
In some cases, yes. Okay. So they're going to give you a base list of what they can put in this new home of yours, right? And it's going to be like just the basic scale down. You probably have the ability to pick out the color that you want in that home for sure. But it's when you start to upgrade. Okay, we don't want the 35-inch cabinets. We want the 42-inch cabinets, right? That's when the money starts to add up
Okay.
right there, right?
Like in
Well, I
the
don't want to put
shower, we
basic
want tile or we want
all
this
the
or
way
that.
up. Right. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
That's right.
Got it.
Hmm.
Okay. So I mean, I think in that regard, there may be a few things of interest, but of course, we're not gonna go and try and pimp this house out and be
Right.
the most
Right.
shining one on the block. That's not really what we want. To be fair,
Okay.
like
Hmm.
that tree line thing was very important.
Hmm.
Um, but also Tahoma was actually the property that we were the most interested in.
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, Tahoma was the one that we liked the most. I mean, we were still undecisive, like, should we have a second story? Then we saw this basement
Hmm.
element that was added to the site. So then I'm like, do we need a basement? Is that great for
Hmm.
reselling? I
Hmm.
think two-story was a bit more important than a basement, but we
Okay.
were also thinking of how we can protect our investment in the future.
Hmm.
So we were just kind of like, is a single story, is it good enough to get a nice single story in terms of resale value in the future? Or
Hmm.
should we at least have a two-story basement? Of course, we could scratch that. It seems like that's going to be a challenge anyway.
Right.
But if we're going to buy this property, the difference from a single story to a two-story,
Hmm.
is it a huge enough difference where it's worth it for us? Or is it fine to just say, we don't need a two-story,
Hmm.
etc.?
So here's what I can tell you. That's a fascinating and great question. So here's what I can tell you. When I think about resale, okay, most of my clients that are reselling, they're selling to people like me that are maybe looking to downsize or getting a little older where I don't want stairs anymore, right? Ranch homes are highly coveted. People want homes where you've got your primary bedroom on the main level. And when you think about a community like Griffith Lakes actually looks and feels like a 55 and up neighborhood. Okay. When I go to 50, that's what it looks like though. I mean, it really truly looks like that, man. From the way the houses look, the way the floor plans are made, the amenity center, it looks just like another community here in Charlotte on the opposite side of town. As a matter of fact, Jeremy, Toll Brothers is building the same neighborhood that is 55 and up. I just thought about that out in Indian Land, South Carolina. The only
Wow.
difference is that they're putting stone on the front of those homes and they're selling them for 800 plus. But they're the
Wow.
exact same floor plans. Yep. And it's
Okay.
only 55 and up. So Griffith Lakes always felt like a 55 and up neighborhood to me. They only added in the two-story homes recently. I would say probably the last 3 or 4 months because they weren't doing any two stories at all. People kept coming in and asking for two-story homes. So do you need one per se for resale? No, you don't. You don't need one at all because they were going to sell that community out regardless. The thing that I personally like about a rent plan, personally, okay, when you've got 3,000 square feet stacked on top of each other, the 1,500 square feet on the bottom can feel small, right? It can feel a little bit tight. Same thing upstairs. When you've got 3,000 square feet on one level, the house looks humongous.
Mm.
Okay. You're going to see when you get here. When you walk in, as a matter of fact, you're probably going to have the same impression that I had. So the first time I went there, I was like, man, these homes look small on the outside, right? The front, elevation. I was like, I was like, okay, like, what are they going to sell? This can't be $500,000. But then you walk in the front door, you're like, oh my God, it looks like night and day. So the homes are very unassuming on the outside, but on the inside, man, they're magnificent. So do you need the second story? I think it's personal preference. When you talk about resale, I think you can still resell a ranch style home because you're going to have people that just don't want stairs. This is why they're selling so fast over there because they've got that option to get that ranch style home. So I
Mm.
think by the time we're ready to rock and roll, by the time you're ready to say, hey, you know what? I like this home. Let's go into contract. Josh will be able to tell us what have they been selling the most. From people that are coming into that community, coming in talking to him, are they really looking for two-story homes more or ranch homes? And that can kind of help guide you as far as what you want to build. I would also take into consideration too, if you go into that second phase, are people building more two-story homes or are they building more ranch style homes? If they're building more ranch style homes, I would probably go either way, ranch or two-story. If they're building more two-story homes, I would not build a ranch. I would not do
Okay.
it. When I go in the neighborhoods where you've got a bunch of two-story homes around, you got that one or two little ranch style homes, they just don't feel like they fit in to the neighborhood. And people just look at those and just ride on by it. They don't want to just not like it's not even there. So that would be my
Okay.
advice. Mm-hmm.
Got it. And so that's, I mean, that's definitely extremely valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Also for us, if the tree line is not a possibility, then, you know,
Mhm.
do we look at other possible communities that are comparable, same level of quality? I
Mm-hmm.
know that based on what I looked and saw, I didn't really see anything new as nice
Mm-hmm.
in the Charlotte area that
Mhm.
was of that same quality. And you know, there's certain elements that we just, you know, they're spot on for us, like the way they do their kitchens and the way they do the bathrooms.
Mhm.
And I kind of wasn't sure if there was anything else. Is there anything else in the area that you know is just as nice or
Yeah,
nicer?
I do, but here's the challenge. So I was actually thinking about this already as we were talking because I know you said them or possibly somewhere else. As long as you've got some access back to the airport, right? So you guys can jump on a plane and go travel, things like that. How far away do you want to be from the airport? What's too far for you?
20 to 30 would be the max.
20 to 30 minutes. If you're okay with a 20 to 30-minute radius around the airport, then absolutely, because we can then take you over into Belmont, North Carolina, okay, where you've got builders like Tri Point Homes that are on par with Toll Brothers. Okay, they come out of California. They just came into the Charlotte region. Their homes are beautiful. Definitely get a chance. If you get a chance, look them up. Tri Point Homes. They build spectacular homes. Okay, they've got a
Wow.
community. Yeah, they've got a community out on Lake Wiley out in Belmont, North Carolina. It's probably 15, 20 minutes from the airport. That is spectacular. Okay. I'll tell you the name of it. I'll text you the name of the community and a link to their website. So yeah, if that's what you're looking for, you know, the good thing about the airport area too is that is still like being developed, all that land around the airport. Charlotte is just now kind of coming into its own. So you're going to find a ton of communities that have nice tree lines. Now, is the building going to be the same quality as the Toll Brothers? Maybe not, right? But we will have some builders that are that same caliber that will have tree lines. It's just a matter of price at that point. You know, what are
Yeah.
they selling those homes for? Is that background real, man? Is that that's real, huh?
No, no, that's real, man. That's
You got
just,
nice trees in the background, man. Oh, I forgot you're in
yeah,
Mexico.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah. They're
the
just,
resort
I'm just at this private villa here.
at a private villa. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get, they put the music really loud, so I gotta take it inside.
Oh, I couldn't even hear it. Okay. All right.
Okay. But yeah, so Tri Point, I'll check. What's the
Mhm.
name of their community?
That could, oh gosh, you would ask me that right now. Hold on, man. Why can't I? Hey, what's that Tri Point neighborhood out there? And we just did the event at that neighborhood. That's on Lake Wiley and Belmont. You two, gosh, you two are just as old as me. Hold on. My guy Tim lives over there. Hold on, I got it.
The other one, while you
McLean.
search that
It's
up,
called McLean South Shore. Yep. I'm like, it's on the
McLean,
tip of my tongue. Yeah. So what?
McLean South Shore.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I said at the same time. What are you talking about? Yeah, McLean South Shore.
Got it. Also, I'll check into that, but also,
Okay.
is it realistic to maybe even look at still getting into phase one by October? Maybe it's not tree line, but maybe it's kind of off to the side, or is, you know, a better arrangement there.
Sure. Yeah.
And we could still get, you know, a great price point and still be able to do our,
Hmm.
let's say, what we want in terms of design, and
Hmm.
still be in that, you know, 500-600K range.
Right. I, 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 if I recall correctly from talking to Josh, I believe he said they only have one or two tree line lots left, I believe, at this point. I'll verify that for you and let you know for sure. I do know that you do have the option to get that basement home that he mentioned.
Yeah,
Yep, that the
but
basement.
without tree line, just a
No,
standard.
that's that tree line though.
No, I'm saying, is
Oh,
there maybe possible to get into phase one even without tree line?
oh yeah.
With still one of the, let's say Tahoma, if we do go in that same range
Mm-hmm.
of maybe it's not tree line, but at least has a, nice situated lot and
Sure.
still be in that range that we want to be in. Because,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know what exactly we would be able to get from a loan. Our goal is to, by summer, put ourselves into that perfect pocket where we could be 740 or higher, because we're
Mm-hmm.
pretty much there. We just have some last debt that we want to knock out. We could take care of it now, but we've just been kind of waiting to see, did we need to?
Mm-hmm.
And lenders telling me that we don't need to. It sounds good, but if I come in there debt free and my score is 750 or higher, it's a
Mm-hmm.
different conversation. So why am I going to rush that? So I
Mm-hmm.
would rather do that and then be ready by September, October. But
Sure.
maybe phase one at that time is actually still a good decision, even
Mm-hmm.
if it's not tree line.
Mm-hmm. Here's my thought process on that. The only reason that I like, I'm sorry, I'm Shawn. Oh, is that Jody? Oh, hey, are you Jody? Jody, I'm so sorry, man. I've never met
No
our
worries.
manager before. Jody, how you doing? Yeah, good to meet you. How's everything? Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. No, no, it's okay. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, nice to meet you though, Jody. Yeah, have a good day. Thank you. Okay. Man, I've been here for a year. I've never met her. That's fun. Okay, awesome. So here's my thought process. Okay, when I think about new construction neighborhoods, all builders here have what they call escalated pricing. They build in equity to the gym. Okay, so maybe you buy in phase one and you don't get everything you want for the home, right? You seem like a pretty young guy to me. I'm gonna just guess you're in your late 30s, maybe.
33.
33?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay. I don't see that good. Okay, you're 33. Okay, there you go. 33. So, okay, so
Maybe it's because I'm in a private villa in Mexico. That's
maybe
why
so.
adding on years.
Maybe that's what it is. Okay. All right. So 33, right? So the way I think about it, you're not going to stay here forever. Okay. There's just you're not, right?
Yeah.
Why not get in that $500,000 price range? You just heard him tell you that they're going to build homes over there in the second phase at 800,000, right? So what that means for you is that if you get into the 500, say you get in 560, 580, whatever, 600, right? When they build those new homes, they become a comp to your home. Okay. That means that your equity potential is significant. That means when you go to sell that home now, right? Now you can walk away with $100,000, $200,000. Okay. That may sound crazy. I just did. Okay. So anytime I look at a new construction neighborhood, I'm always trying to get my people in first. Okay. That's what I look for because I know that over the course of that year or 2 years that they're building, they're going to raise their prices. And the people that got in first, they're going to be the people that actually win the lottery. Okay. Even my new home I'm currently in right now, I got my townhome uh, probably 20 minutes outside of Uptown Charlotte. Got the townhome for 375. We bought in 2021, and now they're selling the same townhome in my neighborhood for 550.
Wow.
Okay. Yep, that's just 3 years. Okay. So we've gained significant equity in that home. And now we're thinking about, hey, maybe we should sell and go get the next one. So I'm gonna
Wow.
always look at the beginning of the community. My fear, you buy at the $800,000 price range, they build still a bunch of homes, but your equity potential is going to be a little bit slower at that price point than it would be if you buy on that low side.
Got it.
Not get everything you want per se, but you get over the 2 years, you get that great equity bump. By the time you turn 38, 39, 40, now you're going into your next home and it's your dream home. And now you got the money from that house to really build what you want to build.
Exactly. And that's, to be fair, like we travel a lot. We know things are not permanent. We're used to our ability to travel and see the world has made us realize that we don't need to look at anything as permanent. So if it's 3 years, if it's 5 years, like we realistically, we're going to live somewhere else because we want to see other parts. We want to experience other places. But for the case of building and starting our family, we do need to get grounded. We need to put down some roots and have a home that's comfortable, that's spacious, where we can get those seasons, the change of the weather. But
Right.
also, the question that I have, what would be the difference from, let's say we go to close, or we're looking at our property, here's October, and we see a unit that's, 550 versus 600. Like, is there a huge difference in cost? Is it minimal? Do we need to be thinking like, do we need to put a parameter on ourselves, like we can't go above 550? Or is it kind of like, as long as we're in this range of 5 to 600, we're in a safe zone of kind of being in the right price point? We're kind of still trying to understand what that looks like.
Yeah. So right now in that neighborhood, if you're between 5 and 6, you'll win. Okay. Right. That's right now though. So the home that he mentioned, the Tahoma that my clients are buying, with all of their upgrades and updates, their home, I think they got in that home maybe 610-ish. Okay. And they're right next to one of the basement lots that they just sold. They've got the retention pond right behind their home and the tree line back there as well. So I know right now 610, they're appraised. So if you can get in, 550, whatever that may be for that same plan, that's a Tahoma, then I know that you've got equity if you can get it for cheaper than what they got it for, because theirs is already appraised. So that's a sweet spot. But what I tell people though, man, is I think about being house poor, right? I don't know that there's a sweet spot outside of that you should look at. It's really about, is this mortgage payment going to change my standard of living? Okay. Am I still going to be able to take the trips that we take if I've got a $3,000, $4,000 mortgage payment, right? What does that now look like for me and my family? Okay. Can we go to Mexico for a month? Can we leave Mexico and go to Europe for another month, right? Or is that now a 2-week trip that we can go on? And now we're coming back to our home and we're miserable, okay, because we like our home, but we like traveling more, right? So once you get your loan estimate from the builder, from the lender, then we can really start to determine, okay, you know what, Shawn, that mortgage payment is a little bit higher than what I thought it was. Let's go find something at this price range, right? I think that's going to be the first time that we can really truly talk about whether or not what you're buying meets your needs in your finances. I think that's when that conversation, we really start having that conversation.
Got it. And in terms of down payment,
Mm-hmm.
if we at that point are sitting on a lot of money and have the ability to put a large down payment, should we, or should we still keep it at that 5%, just because that's kind of, that base that most realtors want you to be at, a lower down payment?
Yeah, great question. So I always err on the side of keeping your money. Okay. So here's the way that you're going to look at that. Every $1,000 that you put down, you're going to save roughly $5 to $8 depending on the interest rate. Okay. So if you go in and you put down $100,000, right, you're not really saving on your mortgage payment a ton of money, not to put down $100,000, right? I don't think so. And you do the math, you're going to say the same thing too. It's not enough money, right? So what I do, okay, what I do is I keep my money and I go buy another house if I've got that kind of money. Okay. Now I may take a little bit, maybe buy down my rate some, to get the payment kind of where I want it. But if I've got $100,000 and I only need to put down 5%, okay, that's going to leave me a chunk of money. What do I do with that money? I go and buy me an Airbnb, right? I go out and get me an investment property and put a renter in, right? Let it start appreciating at the same time. This is actually what I do. That's how I actually do everything. I put down the minimum because I know that, you think about it this way. Like if I put down $100,000 and I don't need to, right? And I'm only saving $8 per thousand. How long will it take me to recoup that $100,000? Right? it's going to take a long time to recoup that money. So I'd rather just go buy another property. That's what I'd rather.
Got
Does
it.
that make sense?
No, that's perfect. I mean, we
Okay,
were,
I'm telling you a whole lot of stuff here. I want to make sure we talk fast.
yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. So I guess, for us, I think more or less we would definitely be keen to go to Griffith Lakes when we
Okay.
get there in May 20th, we arrive.
Okay.
Originally what we were thinking was we were going to go to Charlotte for a year and buy an apartment and rent for a year, see
Okay.
if we liked it, and then we were going to get a place. But then we realized, what's the point of going to Charlotte, getting an apartment, paying rent, especially if we're not going to be there a lot because we still have to travel for work.
Right.
So we would be paying some months and we may not even be there.
Right.
And we could instead take that money, save it, and put it towards the house. So when we do go, now we're thinking, okay, let's just see some communities. Let's see Griffith Lakes. We can now see this other one you mentioned.
Oh, I'll
But
have more than ready for you.
we could have, yeah, exactly.
We'll go get it.
And then just knowing, like, from our side, realistically, we don't want to go in there with pre-qualifications and pre-approvals yet, because we still need to do some work on our debt, on our credit, and make sure that we're at the optimum within the next 2, 3, 4 months, to be ready by September, October, to then say, okay, this is what it is. Let's get these loans and let's see what we can do based on our offer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I think that's the best way to do it too, Jeremy. Listen, everybody's going to press you to get pre-approved. I mean, I clearly know you've got gainful employment. Okay, right. So I'm not concerned there, man. And I'd like to go look at homes anyway. So when you get here, I know you haven't hired me just yet. Okay, but I don't think that way. I always think I'm winning. Okay, so when you get here, we'll have a nice tour plan for you and your partner, man, and we'll go look at some new construction and really give you an idea, man, of what it looks like in different parts of Charlotte within that 20 to 30-minute drive to the airport, to give you an idea. Okay, if I move over here, here's what a 2,000 square foot home costs me right here. If I go to this side, here's what a 2,000 square foot home costs. If I go over here, here's what that home costs, right? Then you can look at schools and, amenities and all that stuff at that point. And then you kind of make a decision about, hey, you know what? This one over here was the best one for us. This is where we're going.
Got it.
Make it
And
nice.
one other, sorry to cut you off, one other important question is, how about in terms of you as getting paid commissions? Like, how do you normally structure that?
Yeah, so the builder actually pays me. So you probably heard that we're going through this new commission structure stuff right now with the Association of Realtors. If you were buying an existing home, I would have to tell you, Jeremy, guess what? If the seller doesn't pay my commission, you may have to pay it. But with new construction, the builders always pay the commission. So you don't have to worry about that. I'll get my cut. I'll give your mom her cut, and we keep on rocking.
Got it. Cool.
Yep.
You guys could have a nice conversation. My mom's tough, man. She's gonna come at you, but
yeah, that's okay. Marine Corps. When I was in the Marine Corps, man, my mom can't be too tough.
No,
where does she live?
She's here in Pompano Beach, in
Oh,
Florida.
she's in there too. Oh man, okay.
Yeah. So she's in that area, and
Okay.
my family's mostly there, Fort Lauderdale, and then I
Okay.
was in Miami, and then once we would decide to go nomadic, we just put our stuff in storage for the year, and then we just been traveling for the past, now it's over a year. So this
Right.
April was 1 year in total. So that's why, like, at a certain point, when you say, okay, we're gonna start a family, I mean, we gotta get a base, we gotta get a home, just to make sure, that the queen is secure and safe, man.
No doubt about it. Listen, you're gonna love Charlotte, man. If you like outdoor stuff, you can go 3 hours southeast and you're at the beach. Okay. You can go 2 hours northwest and you're in the mountain skiing. Okay. Like
Nice.
you got two big, huge lakes right here in Charlotte. On one side, you've got Lake Wiley to the southwest. If you go up north of I-77, you've got Lake Norman, like jet skiing, trails, beaches.
Yeah, we've seen Lake Norman, actually. We went there.
Oh, you
We have
did?
friends that live there. So when we went, we
Oh.
didn't see Charlotte, but we just drove straight to Norman,
Oh man.
and we saw that area, which was stunning. So
Yep.
I did get to see that, which is
Okay.
more or less what I what we want. We want that nature. We want those trees, the forest. Like
Yeah.
those are the places that we feel the most connected to in terms of just, you know, what makes us feel good. So why not have that in my home, which actually makes me remember, if I'm living in, let's say, Griffith Lakes, can I, let's say I want to put a sauna in the backyard. Is that something that they would allow? Is there like a lot of restrictions against that?
Great question. So Griffith Lakes, like any other planned development, they're going to have an HOA. Okay. Now I can tell you on this phone call that yes, you can put a sauna in your backyard, right? But guess what? The HOA, they're going to be the determining factor because what happens is that, and this is going to be any neighborhood you move in that has an HOA. If you want to put a fence up, then guess what? You got to send us a rendering of that fence before you put it in and let us approve it, right? So there may be no restrictions at all on you putting in a sauna. However, you still have to get permission from the HOA to do it. Now, I don't think they're going to deny that. I mean, so when we get to that neighborhood, going to see their backyards are, what'd you say, pimped out, tricked out? What'd you say a little while ago?
Pimped out, pimped out.
The backyards for the model homes are pimped out. Okay, they're showing you what a backyard should look like. So they've got stone pavers, outdoor fireplaces, like outdoor, stone
I saw
grills.
that in your video actually. I saw
Oh,
when
you
you were
did? Oh
touring.
man, yeah.
You were touring it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. There you go. Yes. So the backyards look amazing. So I can't imagine that they'll tell you that you can't do it. I just can't tell you on this call that, yeah, Jeremy, of course you can.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be build out or anything. It would just be one of those that you buy and it comes and they just, post it up for you.
Oh, you mean above ground?
Above ground sauna
Yeah.
where they kind of, like it's
Probably.
enclosed and they bring it in.
Jeremy, I don't know about that. I don't know. I got to see what that looks like. If you were
Okay.
talking like an in-ground, like, yeah, you said sauna. Yeah, and I'm thinking, you know what? I'm thinking hot tub the whole time. No, you want a sauna, you want a sweat box.
Exactly.
Man.
They make them now where it's almost like they'll come in and just put it in. It's not a big thing. It's kind of like a shed, but
Right.
smaller, and then they just put the glass
Okay.
and you know what I mean? And even like a cold plunge pool, you could buy like a nice barrel and you could jump in the cold plunge.
Yeah.
So those things
I
are
think that'll be fine. A cold plunge pool, I think will be fine. You know what? We'll ask Josh what he thinks. How about that?
Yeah. Sounds
Josh,
good. Sounds
he'll
good.
be able to tell us. Yeah, he'll be able to tell us. But anything with HOA, you just have to get permission. But now the thing you're talking about doesn't sound like it's going to be something fixed to the ground. But if it's a shed, I guess it would be. We'll just we'll talk.
Yeah. A sauna would be able to be moved essentially because you could just put it here, you could put it there.
Okay.
A shed, I was just saying in terms of the size of it. Usually they're kind of like a square unit. But anyways, that's a far down the line.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Besides that, is there any important things that I should know and be able to relay to my partner, like based on our discussion so far? I mean, for me, it's pretty clear. Like, definitely would love to get there in a few weeks and check out the units. Seems like you have a great relationship with the team already, which is big for us.
Yes.
And also just knowing that we're not in a rush and that you can be here for that process is reassuring for us as well.
Absolutely. Listen, I love the process. I love people. Okay, so you're not going to get one of those real estate agents be like, oh God, man, this is Jeremy again. Jesus. Okay. I like to make the process, man, so easy up front that I kind of overload you with information. That way, and I put it on video for you as well. So that way as we go through it, most of your questions are already answered, right? At that point, we're just kind of doing fill-in questions for random one-off types of things, right? The biggest thing that I think that you got to be prepared for is, I think you already are, is your down payment. It's going to be 5% is going to be the worst anyway. Okay. So at maximum, it's 5%. So just be prepared for that. Okay. HOA fees at Griffith Lakes are higher than anywhere else. Okay. They got 2 HOA fees in that community. One of their HOA fees is for God, what do they call it? Common area, something that's like $70 or so. But then you also have the HOA fee for the pickleball courts, for the amenity center, for the swimming pool, for the kayaks, right? So that one's gonna be another 250 or so. So the HOA fee is 300 plus a month, right? So that's going to be added onto your mortgage payment. You know, when people hear that, it causes pause. So I want to make sure that you do understand that Griffith Lakes is probably going to have the highest HOA fee of any community like that in the whole area. But they do offer you a ton of stuff to do, a ton.
Yeah. I mean, I
Griffith Lakes,
kind of look at it like if you got a
Mhm.
membership for very high quality gym, you got your basketball, pickleball, gym, pool, etc. So I
That's right.
understand that.
That's right. Okay. The only other thing too, man, is that I do highly recommend that you have a home inspection done as well. Okay. So there are 2 points in that process where you're going to want to have an inspection done. One is going to be at pre-drywall. Okay. Now, if they're doing the inventory home and it's already built, then we're too late, right? But if we're building a home from the ground up, if we get the home in time and get under contract, you do a pre-drywall inspection because that way we can see what's behind the walls, right? Did they miss a nut? Did they miss a bolt? Did they miss a this? Did they miss a that? Is a stringer missing? So on and so. Do we have any cracked, studs and stuff like that, right? Home inspector can go in and tell us what that framing looks like, and then we make them fix it all. Okay.
Mm.
And then you have another one right before you close, right before we go for the orientation. We'll do another home inspection. That's going to be on the completed product, right? Now you may think, man, well, the home is finished. Why have a home inspection done? Well, you still have one done because guess what? Some of the windows may not work. Some of the plumbing may leak, right? Some of this thing may be, maybe the doorknobs are, right? So you still want to have that inspection and the builders will fix everything. Okay. That's the great thing about buying new construction. Okay. You're going to have great warranty. So in North Carolina, it's pretty standard to get a 10-year structural warranty. And then the builders kind of play around with the warranties, right? Some builders are going to give you a 2-year on your mechanicals. Some will give you 1 year on your mechanicals. Mechanicals are going to be like the plumbing and the AC and, all that kind of stuff, the electrical, things like that, right? So you get a warranty on all those things as well. So just keep that in mind. When you buy new construction, you're pretty much covered. Okay. What else?
Is it smart to get some of those? Maybe it's not the design studio, but it's the other enhancements. For example, the sliding doors, the upgraded kitchen unit, the larger, etc. Like those are part of the actual build. Is it
Mhm.
smarter to get some of those?
Yes, it is. Okay. One thing that I think is fantastic are going to be the large sliding doors on the back. Okay. If they offer you accordion doors, I take them because it can turn your living room into an indoor-outdoor space. You can open those doors all the way open, right? And if you've got that fireplace in the back and you've got that wide open, you just extended your home out, X amount of square feet. You can also screen in that back porch as well. So for me, things that are going to sell a home for you are going to be your kitchen and your bathrooms. Okay. So if I'm going to spend money in a home, it's always going to be on the upgraded gourmet kitchen where you've got the double oven microwave set up, right? A nice furniture hood that vents to the outside, right above the stove. Okay. And it doesn't matter whether you do a range or a cooktop inside the home, but that's what I would do. You're going to spend the money in the kitchen and you're going to spend the money in your bathrooms. Okay. Making sure you got that tile all the way to the ceiling, like you said a moment ago, all the way up. Okay. Get the nice big spa shower. And if you don't do that one, at least do the European soak tub. Okay. Those are things that are going to make your home look spectacular. Everything else,
Got it. And the sliding doors.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's
Yeah.
sliding doors. Hmm.
And screen door, is that something like that was interesting to us because we
Hmm.
do like to be outside and not work. I'm a magnet for mosquitoes, so if I'm
Oh,
out there, it's a wrap. And I heard North
welcome to
Carolina
Shawn. Oh,
mosquitoes are insane. So
come on, man, and they're ridiculous. So yeah, you will want to screen at your back porch if you're going to do that. Yes, sir, absolutely. And Toll Brothers
yeah,
will do all that stuff for you.
okay, so that's better to do with them, not try and do it after.
Exactly. Yeah, you get a better price with doing it with them. Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. So I think that covers Everything for now, man. I mean, you know
How'd I
what
do,
we could.
man? How'd I do?
Well, I'll
Look
tell you
at
what. For
me. How'd
me,
I do today, man?
I'm pretty much set in my mind. I mean,
Awesome.
I go off of the energy, but more importantly, you know, I just don't like people. I know when someone's trying to rush me in or trying to get me to, you know, move at a certain pace that matches what they're seeking to gain.
Right.
And in this case, we're first-time home buyers, and the truth is, we don't have to rush. So
Right.
once I feel that energy, then I can just back off and move forward. So
Yes.
I definitely would love to, you know, pursue this with you,
Awesome.
and speak to my partner, of course, and share some
Is she right
feedback
there?
from.
I saw you
No,
look for a second. Oh,
she's
not-
there, but she's like walking, speaking with her team here. And
Oh man. Okay. What do you guys do?
Right.
What do you do?
We have a media company, so we work with hotels and resorts and villa
man.
properties
Really?
around the world.
Okay.
So we're in Mexico, but we're being paid to be here, so it's a nice gift. So
Oh,
essentially,
man.
the travel we don't have to pay for. That's the beauty of us being able to
Okay.
move around
Wow.
so much. But yeah, if we can have a nice place, it still is important for us to make sure that we're not wasting money as
Right.
we travel,
Right.
which was what we were doing in Miami, because we had apartments that were beautiful and expensive, and we were never home. So we're just paying for it to sit there.
Right.
And it's different if it's your home and you're building equity versus an apartment, but we still want to make sure that it's aligned with what we want. And
Right.
you know, maybe we might have a family member come live with us and take care of the baby when we do decide to have children.
Right.
So we need the
Okay.
space so everyone's comfortable. We got the office, we got the so yeah, we're learning. We're obviously new to this, but
Okay.
the feedback you're giving is definitely extremely helpful. So
Fantastic. Well, listen, I'll take great care of you guys, man. I've got 5-star reviews across the board on Google. And again, I sell a bunch of houses, mostly new construction. So I don't miss a beat on new construction. Okay. So you guys will be taken care of. I'll make sure you understand what's coming up, what's coming next. Here's a pitfall right here, Jeremy. Okay. We gotta look out for that thing. So I got you. All right.
amazing.
I'm gonna put on my calendar right now. You guys are gonna be at the 20th. So I'll block out time right there. If anything changes between now and then, just let me know so I can adjust. But I will be prepared, man, for you guys to come, and I will have a nice tour ready for us to go around Charlotte, man, and just see the area, man, see where the restaurants are, see where the shopping is, see where the communities are in relation to all that stuff as well. Another thing that I also do too is I do a ton of, well, you probably know, I do a ton of content. So I will also be sending you guys videos periodically between now and then. I mean, just driving around Charlotte. Okay, you can kind of get an idea of what the trees look like. You know, oh, Jerry, I'm at this neighborhood today. This may meet your criteria. Here's a picture of the model home or a video of the model home. Here's what it looks like on the outside. So I'll be sending you stuff like that too as well. And that way, you know, something like, hey, man, you know what, Shawn, we like the way that one looked. Put that on our tour as well. Okay. So I'll make sure you prepare before you get here.
Got it. Wonderful, man. I appreciate that. Looking forward to it. I'll be there on the 20th in the morning.
Okay.
So I think we touched down like 9:30 a.m.
All right.
And we don't check into our hotel until, you know, obviously the afternoon. So we could hit the ground running as soon as we get there.
Let's do it.
So you know, maybe 10:30, 10:30ish, 11, something like that.
Okay.
We could already meet. Yeah, we're gonna have our own car. We'll move around and do all that.
Awesome. The builders open up at 10 a.m. So yeah, as soon as you hit the ground, man, we start running right away.
Awesome. Sounds good. So we'll touch base over the week, early next week.
Okay.
And just confirm. But yeah, let's plan for that on the 20th.
Awesome. There's one thing I've got to do for legal purposes for North Carolina. Okay.
Of course.
They punish me severely. All right. I've got to tell you what my duties are to you as a real estate agent, since you talked about money and your anything that they call first substantial contact. I've got to tell you this. Okay. So here's my little spiel real quick. Okay. I will be working with you as what they call a buyer's agent in North Carolina. You know, I'm licensed in Florida too. And Florida, we don't have to do this. In Florida, it's like the Wild Wild West. In North Carolina, the Real Estate Commission is here to protect you from me. So they make us share this with you, okay? So I work with you as what they call a buyer's agent in North Carolina. And I owe you fiduciary responsibilities, okay? That is to be honest to you, to be loyal to you, to always work on your behalf, meaning no self-dealing or like some of the other people, like just kind of rushing you to get what they wanted, not what you want. Okay. So always working on your behalf, always making sure that you understand any material fact that could influence your decision. A material fact would be something like, hey, Shawn, I want to move to Griffith Lakes. I love that tree line home right there. And I said, oh my God, Jeremy, I got the perfect tree line home. But I knew already that they were going to mow those trees down the next year. Okay. And I didn't tell you because I'm greedy. All right. So to make sure you understand all material facts that could influence your decision, to make sure that I account for any money that you give me. Now, again, you don't pay me. The builder's going to pay my commission for me. And so I could take care of mom. But let's say, for example, you guys are in another country and you're like, hey, man, I got to mail you this check to give to the builder. And I get the check and I lose it. Okay. At that point, I'm responsible for that money. Okay. So that's never happened. Nobody ever has to send me money, but they still make me tell you that. Okay. They
Got
also,
it.
I'm also required to tell you that you shouldn't share anything with me that you wouldn't want me to share with the seller to give them an advantage over you. Okay. Until you and I have what's called a signed buyer agency agreement. Hey, Scott, love you too, man. Okay. I'll see you later. Tell the wife I said hello. Okay. Until we have a signed buyer agency agreement. Okay. Now, there must be some really crappy people in the world that will go and tell a seller about the buyer that they're working with. Okay. I can't even believe I have to tell people that. But you and I together, okay. I'm going to help you get the best deal. All right. That's just what it is. All right. So that's my little spiel. I'm going to send you a document that says I explained that to you. It is not a contract. You're not binding yourself to me at all. It's just acknowledgement that Shawn explained that to me. I have to keep it on record for 3 years. So if you ever go back and a year later, you say, you know what, that guy Shawn was a crappy real estate agent. He lied to us. He cheated us. I'm going to call the real estate commission, right? The first thing they're going to ask me for is my working with real estate agents document. Did you share that information with Jerry? And I've got to keep it for 3 years to send to them if you call them on me for some reason. You won't call them on
Got
me.
it.
I'm great.
Got it. Got it. Sounds good, man. So just
All
so
right.
I know
Yes,
the
sir.
process as well,
Mm-hmm.
when you do, like, let's say when we do decide,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're going 100% with Shawn, what
Mm-hmm.
is that step there? Like, is there,
Yes, sir. Basically, you will sign that buyer agency agreement. I'll mail it to you. I'll email it to you rather, and then I'll sit down and I'll go for you with you page by page. Here's what it says, and really all it is it's telling you again what my fiduciary responsibilities are. It allows me to represent you and talk on your behalf, right? It also talks about what your duties are as a buyer in the state of North Carolina, what the pitfalls are in the state of North Carolina as well. For example, we operate under what's called caveat emptor. Now, that doesn't matter to you because you're buying new construction, but buying an existing home, every home in our state is sold as is. A seller is not required to make any repairs at all. So you could go buy a limit. So that's something that you want to know. And that's talked about in our buyer agency agreement. It also talks about the commission percentage that I'm going to accept from the builder, okay, on your behalf. And of course, I'm going to share with you. But yeah, so it talks about what I'm going to be getting paid as well. We are very transparent in this state. The state wants to make sure that Jeremy understands every single thing about the process, about the real estate transaction. So that way you're protected from me as an agent. Okay.
got it.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Any other questions about that?
No, we're good. Sounds
All right.
good, man. Thanks for the clarity and
Yes, sir.
insights.
Yes, sir. Listen, thank you for your time. And again, I apologize for yesterday, but thank you for allowing me
No
to
worries.
get back with you today, man. I really appreciate that. And tell your partner hello. I can't wait to meet her.
Likewise, man.
Your
Thank
queen,
you.
as you said. Your queen, as you said. Yes.
We'll be in touch early next week, and we'll
Awesome.
just lock in. Let's just plan now for
Okay.
like I said, for 10:30 on the 20th, and
Good.
then we'll touch base and confirm. And I'll go ahead and look at the other property you mentioned and see how that looks. And if there's anything else that might be of interest beforehand, I'm sure you'll
I'll
keep
be
me
sending you
posted.
stuff. Oh yeah, I'll send you stuff as well too.
Okay, cool. All right,
All
Shawn,
right.
I appreciate it, man. Enjoy
Yes,
the
sir.
rest of
You
your
enjoy the
day.
rest of your day. You too, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother. Speak
All
soon.
right. Bye bye. You too. Bye bye.